பயாலஜி இன் தமிழ் கோர்வை சேனல் சார்பாக அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பெயர் கண்ணதாசன். In this video, I am going to present the pollination, a composite event part 2. In the part 1, we discussed about the obligate mutualism between yucca and yucca plant and yucca moth. In this video, we are going to learn three concepts. One is pollination in Amorphophallus, then pollination in orchids by pseudocopulation, then pollination in fig with the help of fig wasp. So that is our aim of this video, students. Now let us go into the video. Before that, if you like our video, press the like button, share this video to your friends, comment on it, subscribe our channel to receive more such videos, press the bell icon to receive notification, and also you can join Telegram group and WhatsApp group to download the pictures, flowcharts, mind map, etc., so that it will support your learning. Now, pollination in Amorphophallus. In Amorphophallus, flowers, apart from providing floral rewards, also forms a safe site for laying eggs. So it provides safe site for laying eggs. And here I gave one YouTube link in the description itself. If you click it, just 2 minutes video, it will give you the real-time pollination take place in Amorphophallus. Now this is the Amorphophallus flower. Such a big flower, you see. Amorphophallus titanum, it is also known as corpse flower or titan arum, is the world's largest unbranched inflorescence, measuring the height of 8.2 feet height and width about 5 feet. Amorphophallus pollination during anthesis, it means flowering period. A fluid oozes out from the upper spadix. So the inflorescence type is spadix type of inflorescence. From this inflorescence, the smell odor is coming out. Okay, ammonoid odor. Attracted by this ammonoid odor, the carrion beetles. These are called as carrion beetles. Okay, visit the inflorescence at the dark. Okay, at the dark, it means at the evening time. Okay, the scientific name of the carrion beetle is Pheochros amplus. Visit the inflorescence. Now once it visit the inflorescence, it go to the bottom. Okay, the lower portion of the lower bract, lower spathe. This is the spathe of the spadix inflorescence. Here some fluid will be there in which they are trapped. The carrion beetles are trapped at the bottom. They stay there for about 1 day. Next day evening only they start moving, and this is the female region, and this is the male flower region. So from here it start moving up. It is crawling through the male flowers. By the time the pollen grains, that is anthers open, pollen grains liberated. The pollen grains stick on to the body of the carrion beetle, and then it moves out and start flying away. Before 30 minutes, it has to reach the another inflorescence and also another female flower and pollinate it. Otherwise, the pollen become that is it is dead. Pollen will be dead. And this content we are going to read. Amorphophallus pollination. The beetle become trapped in the lower spathe overnight and remain in the spadix until the following evening. Following day evening, the anthers produce long threads of sticky pollen. The trapped beetles escape just after dark by crawling up from here to here and then up. Okay, crawling up the spadix, past the degized. Degized means broken. So anthers broken, liberating the pollen grains. Fly away from the spadix tip. And marked beetles, it means carrying the pollen grains, okay, from male phase to female phase of the inflorescence. Successful fertilization was only effected if pollen was transferred on the same night from a male inflorescence. It means in the same night before 30 minutes, as I already told you. Okay, and here the pollen is silate type. It means it consists of smooth exine type, and it is a typical of a beetle pollinated family called as Araceae. And here also one more link I gave. It gives you a beautiful picture of the bottom portion of the Amorphophallus spadix inflorescence, where you can see lot of flowers and also the beetles. Okay, so it is a wonderful picture. You please just visit that site. Pseudocopulation, it occurs in, so second concept we are entering, occurs in bee orchids. Orchids are plants, ophrys. The morphology of the flower mimics. Mimics means it gives the appearance of the female wasp. What wasp? Colpa. The wasp name is Colpa wasp. The male wasp mistakes, it misunderstands. This is the actually female flower. Okay, female flower, it gives the appearance approximately, it is enlarged one. If it is the same size, it gives the appearance of the female flower. Okay, it gives the appearance of female flower. Male wasp visit and thinking that this is the female wasp and start copulating. When it is copulating action, it deposits the pollen grain it has already collected from other flowers and also collect the pollen grain from this flower. Are you clear? So this is how the pollination is taking place. Because the pollination take place by the wasp colpa, thinking that it is its female wasp, it is called a pseudo, means false copulation, false mating, which helps in pollination. Okay, so this is one of the deception also we can say. Okay, next one is fig, Ficus carica by the wasp. Pollination take place by the wasp called as Blastophaga senes. Blastophaga senes. The pollination in fig, Ficus carica, by the wasp Blastophaga senes is also an example for similar plant insect interaction. So this is actually the fig fruit we are thinking, but it is actually the you know very well Syconium inflorescence, Syconium type of inflorescence where the receptacle is very fleshy in nature. And this is the wasp. Here they maintain obligate mutualism. What is obligate mutualism? The fig cannot survive without the fig wasp to spread its genetic material, and the fig wasp cannot live without the fig, because that's where it lays larva. It lays its egg. Okay, this relationship is known as mutualism. Okay, what mutualism? Obligate mutualism. One cannot survive without the other one. Okay, so this is actually the Syconium inflorescence. This is the Syconium inflorescence of the fig. Okay, this is the receptacle. Okay, actually the already the eggs are laid. Both male and female eggs are laid here. Imagine. First male eggs are hatched and the male is coming out. Okay, and through the ostiole it comes out. It fly away. Okay, and it again visit another Syconium and it goes inside. Okay, by that time in that Syconium the female wasp also hatched. That is female eggs also hatched and it is ready for copulation. So both of them are mating here in this Syconium. Within the lumen of the Syconium itself the mating occurs. After the mating, okay, the male wasp dies and female wasp, what it do, it is moving around and collects the pollen grains. Okay, and it bores the receptacle at one place and comes out, and again it is also going to another Syconium and enter through the ostiole. When it is entered through the ostiole, okay, believe it or not, it that is its wings and body are all damaged. Okay, after damaged body, it is entering into this lumen of the Syconium where it deposits the egg and it also dies. So very short lifespan only these wasps are having. Okay, so this is how the pollination take place in fig. And here I gave the neat question, students. You can just pause the video and go through the question and answer it. Many visitors consume pollen and nectar and do not help in pollination. They are called as pollen or nectar robbers. Okay, so this is the end of this video, student. Thank you very much for watching.